This is an 8-second intro because my microwave is about to go off. Okay, now that we got the microwave situation all handled, wanted to touch on the idea of your body being a temple of the Holy Ghost. Okay, whenever we are in a state of grace, in a very real sense, our body does become a temple of the Holy Ghost. So why don't we treat it that way? I was listening to a Franciscan friar give a little conference on this matter, and he pointed out some really interesting things that I personally had not thought of before. For example, it's often considered by a lot of traditional Catholics a very traditionally Catholic masculine, don't know how to phrase that, traditional Catholic masculine thing to imbibe, or to, as he described it, indulge in libations, or simply just to smoke a ton of cigarettes or cigars, or whatever it is. Just use a bunch of nicotine and tobacco products. And to his point, it's not that any of those things are bad in of themselves. In fact, they can be good things. Having a drink is a good thing. It can be very socially beneficial, and as we know, there are health benefits to things like good wine and stuff like that. Having a cigar has been shown to be very healthy as well, but it's a little bit more than that. When we overindulge, or when we get to the point of calling our drinking libations, right? Like, if you look up the term libation, it literally always has something to do with some pagan god. Like, do we really want to be associated with that? Probably not. But we're putting this into our body, and sure, maybe wow, I really should move that towel. Sorry, guys. As you know, I'm in a hotel traveling, as is usual, and sometimes that results in very beautiful scenery. No, but the point is, like, we're putting this in our body, oftentimes to an excessive amount, and that is very damaging physically. It can be very damaging spiritually as well. And if we have this knowledge that our body is a temple of the Holy Ghost, when we remain in a state of grace, we should treat it like that. And so if you wouldn't find yourself going to church or mass in a tank top, or basketball shorts, why would you have the same attitude to your own body, right? Now, obviously, it's not exactly the same thing, but it's not the point. The point is, you should treat what God gave you well. God gave you a beautiful church, treat it well. And if He gave you your body, which He did, treat it well. It's your job to take care of your body, and that means working out, eating healthy, but also just abstaining from things that don't need to be used in excess. You really don't need to be drinking every day. I can't sit here and say it's bad necessarily to have a glass of wine every night or something like that. But if you find yourself in the position, even if it's for social reasons, to have several drinks a day, maybe reconsider why you're putting yourself in that social position. I don't know, just a thought. I guess a better way to say that is just the exercise of practicing restraint, even if something in of itself is not necessarily intrinsically a bad thing. Utilizing it to an excessive amount becomes bad. For one, constantly putting smoke in your lungs is bad. Constantly poisoning your liver with alcohol is bad. Either of those things, here or there, fine. Doing it constantly, bad for you physically. But also, you need to practice restraint in these matters that are not of sin, so that when a matter of sin does arise, your body is already accustomed to restraining your desires and your will. You can subjugate your will to your intellect. Obviously, drinking too much dulls your intellect, but also just the indulging in pleasures constantly dulls your intellect as well. It makes you weaker to resist sin. It's the same reason that fasting and just taking on penances makes you stronger against sin. It's like working out, right? If you are fasting, you are like working out the part of your body that really wants to do something, but is not going to do it. In short, kind of rambled there for a second, but we should be treating our bodies as the temple that we want them to be, not just what they are. So, first of all, if you're in a state of mortal sin, go to confession and get that cleaned up. Then, second of all, once you are in a state of grace, keep your body that way, take care of it. That means nourishing it spiritually with prayer and penance and sacrifice. But it also means take care of it physically, because God gave you this body to be a temple for Him, right? And so you should take care of it. That's all. Kind of a short video. Didn't have a lot of time because I'm traveling as always, but I hope that made sense. Guys, please let me know what you think and how off base I am in the comments. I'd love to hear from you. God bless.